Story 1. Even if the object isn't that heavy, if my arms can't wrap comfortably around to hold it, I can't carry it. The overhead visor isn't going to do anything against the sun. Story 2. Most short people cannot sit with their back against the back of a chair or sofa and have their feet touch the floor. Without a pillow behind them, it gets uncomfortable quickly. A lot of guys make fun of all the decorative pillows, but they also serve a function. Story 3. Normal chairs are too tall for me. I can only touch the floor with my tiptoes. So, I often just sit on the edge of my seat, but I always have to make sure my chair isn't in the way, like in restaurants and office meetings. On the plus side, I can wear children's socks and shoes, which are less expensive and come in more fun designs. Story 4. I have strong calves because I go up on tiptoes 20 times a day. Working on kitchen counters or regular sinks can be really straining. That annoying tip of the fingers making the thing turn around instead of being able to grab it off an upper shelf. Climbing up things to get things. Story 5. What it is like to go to the grocery store and have the item you need be on the very top shelf. You have to either swallow your pride and social anxiety and ask for help or go home without it. Story 6. The world is not designed for short people. As mentioned in other comments, items on higher shelves aren't easy to reach, and dangling feet when sitting on a toilet or in a chair is frustrating. Consider my own 4-foot 10-inch pet peeve. The average countertop height should reach the average person around mid-hip or thereabouts. This allows for hands to be in an ideal ergonomic position to do whatever. But for us short people, the countertop height trends upward to somewhere around torso level, making doing things at counter height just miserable. I hate cooking, doing dishes, etc., simply because after a little while my neck, shoulders, and back ache from extending my arms up and out rather than out and down like everyone else. I imagine taller than average folks have similar issues with needing to stoop down to reach the counter. Story 7. People treat you like you're less of a person. Like hell, I'm 38, I've been through a lot of difficulties. Just because I'm 4 feet 11 inches doesn't mean I'm not worthy of respect. Damn it. Story 8. As a shorter guy, 5 feet 5 inches male, you can literally be invisible in a group. At parties or gatherings, I have often had experiences where taller people will introduce themselves to each other and simply not notice me. I have learned to be more assertive, but it's annoying as heck when it happens all the time. Story 9. How awesome it is to be able to pull the covers up to your chin without having your feet sticking out from under the duvet, even when you're lying stretched out on the bed. Story 10-1. My eye level is not your eye level. I can't see the hood of most cars while driving. Bonus. I've had to get really good at asking tall supermarket strangers for help. Alternatively, my skill set also includes scaling shelves like a 5-foot spider monkey. Story 11. How it's often the first insult thrown. A good example at the moment is the number of people criticizing Rishi Sunak's height in the United Kingdom. His height is irrelevant, whatever you think. Story 12. If you walk normally, I have to basically power walk. Even if you tell them, either they don't seem to understand, can't adapt on short notice, or don't care. Story 13. Being constantly aware of where people are. Short people need to watch for stray elbows, careless individuals walking backward, intoxicated individuals walking forward, and how to get the attention of someone who is oblivious to your existence. Story 14. I am a 43-year-old adult who has been working in my career for 20 years. I am a grown-up. Just because I'm the height of the average 12-year-old and also have a baby face and also just happen to be traditionally attractive does not mean that I am not a serious adult. This has been my biggest pet peeve since I was in my 20s, where at my first job out of college everyone assumed I was not a college intern, but someone who somehow was in high school yet coming to an office job from 8 to 5 every day. Just because we're short doesn't mean we're actually children. For the love of God, I am begging all of you to please remember this whenever you deal with a professional adult who just doesn't happen to be as tall as most adults. Story 15. When you place things on the top shelf, I can't reach it. It's possible I can't even see it. And if I ask you for assistance getting it, I'm not pretending to be helpless for no reason. Help, or accept that you having to crouch slightly to put it away is less of a burden than me being totally unable to access it. Tall people also overlook shorter people all the time and will push us out of the way as if we aren't even there. Story 16. Tall people do not have the same innate climbing abilities as a shorter person. Climbing is a sport for tall people. It is like getting something off the top shelf for us. My daughter calls it dad gymnastics. Story 17. People don't take you seriously because they think you're young. I'm a 5-foot, 30-year-old with 2 kids. The mothers give me dirty looks when I go to the store with my kids, probably thinking I'm a teenage mom or something. Story 18. Body aches from using furniture that is not designed for your height. My feet do not reach the floor when I am in an office chair, so it causes lower back pain. The armrests are often too wide for my frame, so my elbows have to stick out, straining my shoulders. Story 19. Please don't seat me in a booth. I feel like I need a booster when the table is level with my chest. Also, forget those tall tables with high stools. I have to actually climb up and down. Just a regular table with regular chairs that let my toes graze the ground is fine enough. Thank you. Story 20. My space matters too. I also like to be comfortable. I don't appreciate being squeezed into the smallest space all the time because it's easier. I don't want the terrible seat, bed, etc. every time we travel. Being told constantly that you just need to roll with whatever because your comfort matters least honestly had an effect on me. Story 21. Recently for me, despite there being a setting for adjusting exercise equipment to fit from tall to short, I am at that level of shortness where even the shortest or smallest setting is not small enough in most equipment. Also, every pair of pants I buy needs to be hemmed up. Story 22. Well-meaning people will often say, especially to men, things like, "Oh, nobody really cares about how tall you are." Tall people, yes, you do. You absolutely 100% do. You don't have to have must be over 6 feet on your dating profile to care. We've been out here the whole time. It's every single day. Yes, you absolutely do care. And that's fine. We all have preferences and biases and all that. Totally not a character flaw on your part. But pretending it's not an issue is absolutely maddening. Or pretending that short men's sensitivity about it is all in their head. It really isn't. Just accept that it's a thing that sucks and go about your business. No need to add a lie to it. Story 23. My feet never touch the ground, and hanging like that makes my knees hurt. So, I will tuck a leg up under me, put my feet on a bar of the chair next to me or on my desk, anything to avoid just dangling all of the time. Story 24. It makes me feel unsafe if you talk about how easily you can pick me up and take me, or how easily someone could overpower me. Why would you tell me that when I'm already afraid of it happening? Story 25. I can see inside your nose. Get rid of your boogers. When you talk, your breath is right in my face. Please practice good mouth hygiene. For guys, when you absent-mindedly fix your private parts, you're practically shaking yourself in my face. I know it's you when you fart because I'm closer to your rear than you think. I may be the size of a child to you, but that doesn't mean you can just grab me and pick me up. Put me down, you fool. Story 26. Carrying pretty much anything in bags or under arms is heavier because our arms are shorter. The bags or whatever we are carrying would probably drag on the floor if we left our arms hanging at full length. So we have to bend them up and sustain that muscle contracted all the way home. Tall people can just grab a bag and let their arms relax. Story 27. Here is a short list of lifelong inconveniences while living as a 4'11" woman. All pants must be hemmed, even petite sizes. The same goes for long skirts and dresses. I realized way too late in life that the kids section for clothing and shoes is not only economical for me, but the fit is better too. I need a step stool to reach the second and third shelf in all my cabinets. Every room in my house has at least one chair for me to get on to reach things up high. I have to do a running jump to get into my truck. When I drive, the seat has to be all the way forward and all the way up so I can see over the dashboard. Talking to people is literally a pain in the neck. I have never been able to look anyone in the eye unless we are both sitting down. Echoing what others have said about calorie intake. If I eat over 1,500 calories, I gain weight. 5 pounds of weight gain looks like 20 on me. If I weigh more than 105 pounds, I look like an Oompa Loompa. My 4-year-old is now 1 foot shorter than me. I will have to stop carrying her soon because carrying someone as tall as me down the stairs doesn't seem like a safe or smart idea. My feet dangle when I sit to pee, which feels weird. A squatty potty for the win. I could literally write a book of lamentations of a short woman, but those are just some of the greatest hits one could think of at the moment. Story 28. It is almost impossible to order anything from the bar if it is too high and no one can see you or hear you. My God. This is why I prefer places where you are being served. At least I can get my drink. Story 29. Don't stand so close to me. Specifically in line, when a tall man stands behind me too closely, I get the icks. Just because we're not right in front of your line of sight doesn't mean we're not there. Story 30. There is a real, true bias against short people. Judging people on race, gender, sexual preference, or religion is extremely taboo. But saying, I only date guys over 6'6" on a dating profile is perfectly acceptable. Men will pick fights with you because they can see the top of your head. Taller people are often respected more in office settings. And don't even get me started on the short-phobic National Basketball Association. Story 31. If a short person does something really impressive, it's automatically called short man syndrome, Napoleon complex, or compensating for a small penis. If a tall man does the same thing, it's just humbly impressive. It annoys me. Story 32. I don't know if this is a short person thing, but my dad is a little tall, and he would always ruffle my hair when I was a kid. I hated it and clearly showed that I hated it and would always tell him don't. But he just kept doing it anyway. I feel like if I was tall, he wouldn't have done that to me. He also kept calling me small all the time. It was bad enough that he did that when I was like 5 years old because back then I really was small, but the older I got, the more annoying it was to still get called that. I'm an adult in my 30s, and he still calls me that once in a while, and boy, it pisses me off. I've told him several times to knock it off with calling me that because that was old when I was a kid. He claims it's affection, but I always hated it. He keeps forgetting that we talked about it and will start doing it again. I hate it so much because it feels like he's calling me inferior or something to that effect, so it's insulting to me. Again, I know he wouldn't be doing that if I was taller. Too long. Didn't read. When tall people do things like ruffle someone's hair or call them some variation of the word small, they think it's cute or funny to do that to someone shorter than them. But to us short people, it's very annoying. Even if they don't mean it that way, it feels insulting because it's like they're calling us inferior in some way. It just pisses me off. Story 33. The tops of all my picture frames and shelves are very dusty. We are horrified when we get on a chair and realize you have been seeing our dirty house we had no idea about. Story 34. The lengths of extra small size clothing often fit me, but they are often too tight because they are made for very skinny people. The width of small-sized clothing fits me most of the time, but the length is often too long. I should just shop at petite clothing stores, but there are not many of those around me, and some do not have the styles I want. I have discovered that some stores like Abercrombie and Fitch have the same size pants with different lengths. Short, regular, and long. Lifesaver. Story 35. The funny thing is super tall people and I often do better together because they get the height issues. It's the average height people that are often the ones that don't understand all the comments in here, in my experience. Story 36. Sun visors in cars only work for tall people. Shorter individuals are blinded by the light daily while driving. My ADHD brain. Hey Siri, play Blinded by the Light by Bruce Springsteen. Story 37. You all tall women need to stop hovering over toilets and making them wet and gross. Short women cannot hover to pee, and we should not have to. If no one hovered, this would not be an issue. Story 38. Just because I am short does not mean you have to remind me. And yes, I can reach things without help. Do not act surprised like, oh my gosh, I did not think you could reach it. Comparing height gets annoying. I am 5 feet 0 inches tall. Story 39. I was never insecure about my height. It has never stopped me from dating people taller than me. Tall people have this thing where they love to comment on how short you are. Story 40. The dread that shoots through your body when a fire alarm goes off. Even with a ladder, I have to stretch and hope I am close enough to pull the base down so I can change the battery and then screw it back in. High ceilings are my nightmare. Story 41. Not being able to get things at grocery stores. There are some products that are always on the top shelves, and I either have to climb the shelves like Spider-Man, not recommended, or wait for a taller person to come by and get it for me. Also, any kind of group gathering, parade, or concert where everyone has their iPads or phones raised to film ensures that I can never see anything. That's why I mostly stay home. Story 42. That standing up for yourself doesn't mean the same thing for short people like me. I have a friend who is 6 feet 4 inches tall, and if he has ever gotten into an altercation, he stands up, and the person usually backs down and runs away. This has worked for him in serious situations like someone breaking into his office, and non-serious situations like someone talking trash at him in public. Height intimidates a lot of people. When you're shorter than most people like me, unfortunately standing up, literally, for yourself doesn't work as much.